television, we have internet, which actually makes that bad influence on the person, on the kid, and this kid takes that, and that is why it's not this kid's fault. That's the fault of the society, actually, and that is why the society has to give this kid the second chance. And rehabilitation does that, because retribution will just leave, for example, a stigma on that person, and that person will not be able, for example, even to get a job. And when it is rehabilitation, we will fix the problem, and by fixing the problem, this person will be innocent. We will change the mentality. According to Advocacy Director of Human Rights Watch USA program in Washington D.C., 70% of the teenagers that are taken to juvenile justice system have mental illnesses. So that is why we say that that's actually not their fault. And secondly, society has to protect vulnerable individuals, and about their arguments. Their first argument that retribution will decrease juvenile crimes. But how they're going to decrease that? Because when we take somebody to the prison, first of all, we isolate them from the intelligent part of our society, and secondly, we put them in bad society amongst the criminals, and that will be the bad influence. And the second argument that they brought was the deterrency, that people will be afraid. But dear judges, we are not living in dictatorial society. We are living in a democratic one. We want to be our environment friendly, and we want to give our society the second chance to juveniles who cannot actually understand what they are doing because of the front lobe, as my colleague mentioned. And the third one, okay. Thank you, dear judges. I'm ready to process.
I'd like to ask you some questions. First of all, do you think that people have the right to know that one of their neighbors was stealing, robbing, raping, or even killing?
Yes, of course.
Okay, thank you. If you live in a democratic society, do victims also have rights?
Yes, and rehabilitation actually cares about the victims too.
In which way?
I mean, like, if this person who makes a crime was taken to the court, we are talking about juveniles. Taken to the court is it's kind of punishment too, and then they will go to rehabilitation. And let me emphasize that we are not saying we're not going to eliminate retribution at all. We're saying that we are going to prioritize rehabilitation, not over the retribution. So, like, they will be rehabilitated, and they will just let me finish, okay? I mean, like, the psychologists will work with them, and this work, I don't know, I think, like, not every talking to psychologists every day, every hour, I mean, like, about 10 hours a day, it's so tiring, and that is why that's kind of punishment, and also it will fix the problem.
So, rehabilitation is a punishment?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Do you think that the members of a family in which one person was injured is also going to be affected by the fact that
injured, you mean like?
Yeah, I mean, let me explain. There is a juvenile that has offended one person. And do you think that the members of this family, of this victim, as well as the friends, will be affected by that, emotionally?
Okay.
Do you so or do not?
But this person will still be taken to the court, and this
do you think that they will be affected or not? That was the question.
You mean the victims? The families or some kind of that stuff?
Yes.
Okay then.
Okay, so they will. Can you define prioritizing?
Prioritizing means that to put, like, even if you have 51% of one thing and 49% of another one, that's prioritizing. I mean, prioritizing, putting one in first for the first place, and second one and another one to the second one.
Okay. Are there doctors and psychologists in prison?
In prison?
Yes.
In prison, we have. If you are talking about just the prisons, we have policemen. They're just looking after the criminals, and
so there are no psychologists, no doctors in prisons.
Yes, I think that. But you can, if you give me the evidence, I will believe that.
Okay.
As I did the research, there is no.
Thank you very much.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the second negative speaker, and first I would like to rebut their rebuttals, so to speak. So first, they said that they said that rehabilitation decreases recidivism by 10 to 12%. We say that is just too small a number, and their argument was it will increase if we keep using it. There is no evidence for this. There is no way to know, and therefore we think that this point is irrelevant. Second, they said that there is no rehabilitation process in prison. We say that there is. We want to emphasize that we want to prioritize retribution. That is to keep most of the sentence in prison and then to rehabilitate like the last months. That was our case, and they didn't seem to understand this. And they told us of these studies of 1994. We think that it's just way too outdated. We don't know the current statistics, so we can't really accept the statistics because they're simply too old. Now, second, they admitted that retribution leaves a stigma on these children, and we also say it does leave a stigma, but that's a good thing because there we are respecting the rights of the victims. Okay, we are letting society know what these people did, which is a right of the victims. This directly goes to the last sentence of the first affirmative speech, where he says that he wants to protect the rights of the people. Well, by leaving a stigma, we directly protect the rights of the people, not just we are not only emphasizing the rights of the criminal as they have been doing all along. Now, if they say that children have mental illnesses, so they are not responsible for their actions, we say that if children have mental illnesses, why would we try to rehabilitate them? There is something internally wrong with them if they have mental illnesses, which is what they are saying. We believe that these children should be detained if they have mental illnesses to keep them away from society because they can't be rehabilitated if it's something in their nature. And they give this example of the frontal lobe and age, and they didn't exactly say what age it stops developing. We know that statistic, and it's age 21, just to clarify. And they said that did not do that. And they said that a minor is somebody under the age of 18. Well, there are systems where minors are not only under the age of 18. The end of this is in Honduras, where the age limit is 25. Of course, we're not going to talk about this one country, but if the range is not only up till 18 and the lobe stops developing at 21, there is a lot of children that can directly take fully responsible choices, and we are completely forgetting about them in their system, not in ours. Now, they say so therefore when they said that it is not the responsibility of the children at all, we say that it is, at least partially, and so they should have a responsibility for it, and they should be retributed. Now, we want to say that, now I want to address the cross-examination. They admitted that people have a right to know, and we just like to emphasize that the only way for people to know the crimes of the children is to leave a stigma on them, a stigma which can only be left on them through retribution, not rehabilitation, as we have stated. Now, we would just like to emphasize that there is more than one offenders, more victims than offenders, as they admitted in the cross-examination. So by our plan, we're actually respecting the rights of the people, which I believe to be their criteria. So that is why this point is so important to the case, and they actually never refuted this point, which is very important to our case.